Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today we are looking at looping or iteration. It falls under control structures. Iteration or looping, these basically statements that are executed until a certain condition is met. That is, we loop over certain program statements, execute them over and over until a certain condition is met. We have two different categories. We have the while loop and we do have the for loop. Now, under the while loop, we have the do while, which is a post-test condition. That is, first execute the statements, then test the condition later. And we also do have the while construct, where we basically first test the condition and then execute the statements after testing the condition. Now, the syntax for while is as shown here. We have while condition. We have a condition that needs to be met here. Once this condition is met, it is only when we can execute the statement or statements within the control structure's body. If this condition is not met, then we exit the control structure and we proceed. If there are other statements that come after this structure, we execute them. Now you can see we have a simple flowchart here. This flowchart shows us first we are checking the condition. Is the condition met? Then let's execute the statement. Again, let's repeat. Let's loop again back to testing the condition. If it is met, execute the statement, and on and on and on until such a point where we're going to have a test of this condition that will not be met. That is, will lead to false. Then we can exit the control structure. We do have the do while structure. The syntax is here. We begin with a do, then execute these particular statements or statement, then test the condition. And that's why I was saying this one is a post-test condition. First execute the statement, then test later. The syntax is here. First execute the flowchart is here. First execute the statements, then test the condition. If the condition is met, then back again, loop. We execute, test the condition. If it is met, loop again, test the condition until such a time the condition is not met. Okay, let's look at the for loop structure. The for loop structure is a bit different from the while structure. We basically have initialization, we have condition, we have increment or decrement. The condition part, that's what we are testing if you look at our flow chart. Basically what happens is that if the condition is met, it's only when we have the statement or statements executed that lie within the body of the for loop. Now, if the condition is met, again I'm saying, that is, if it evaluates to true, we execute the statement and then loop over again, test the condition. If it evaluates to true, execute the statement or statements, loop again until such a time that the condition is not met, is only when we exit this particular loop. Now if you look at it, we have three items here. We have initialization, we have condition, and then we have increment. Initialization can be as simple as just saying int x is equals to 0. Increment can basically just be x plus plus or x minus minus. That's what we refer to as the decrement and the increment. So let's jump into coding and write a few Java programs to demonstrate the concept. Okay, welcome back. Let's start coding. We go back to our previous project, the one that we were working with, that is Learn Java Basics. So inside it, we have these packages. We continue working with com.lesson.2. Yeah, because that's where we were looking at control structures. So we continue with that one. So basically just right click on it and then let's go to class, click on class. Let's find a name for our class. Let's call it while loops. Yeah, we can call it while loops. I would want this class to be created with the main method, therefore let's check that button. Let's check that checkbox, then click finish. There it is. Okay, so we don't have to waste time typing public static void main. So we jump right on it, but before that, the best approach for us to use while looking at these loops is maybe answering a few questions. Yeah, we can have these kind of questions. Write a program that will output values 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 10 to 9, and then odd numbers between, that is from 1 to 10, and the even numbers from 1 to 10. So as we write this program, we'll be learning, as we go through these questions, we'll be learning how to create or how to work with the loop structure. And therefore, let's start by creating an integer variable and initialize it to, for the first question, maybe we initialize it to 1. Then we terminate. Then we say while, this is our condition, while x, x less than what? Less than 10. You can say less than equal to 10. Then something should happen. System dot out dot print ln. Then we're basically just going to print the value that is being held by variable x, and then of course we need to increment, do an increment. That's a shorthand increment, the same as writing x equals to x plus 1. Okay, let's save and see what's happening here. Yeah, it's able to output 1 to 10. Would want it to output the other way around so that it can look a bit visible. Yeah, we can do a concatenation there, and then we remove the ln. Let's execute the program. Yeah, there it is. So we through this program we've been able to answer the first question. Now I think we can move on to the next question, which says write a program that will output values 10 to 1. So we need to reverse it. We can make a few adjustments here. We can set x is equals to 10, initialize it to 10, and then we can change the condition here to greater than 0. And then of course we have to change to decrement, and this is the same as writing again x minus 1. So let's see, let's save and see the output. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that question, write a program that will output values 10 to, this 10 to what? 10 to 4, 10 to 4. Okay, you can basically just come here and change the condition to greater than 3. Let's check out the output. Yeah, there it is. We change it to greater than 3. That's the output you get. Question number 4, write a program that will output values, I think it's supposed to be odd numbers from starting from 1 to 10. So how do we go about writing that one? We can set the initialization to 1, and then we can do a decrement. Decrement from where? Less than or equal to 10. Yeah, these are decrement. Okay, let's see what it will give us. We need to do an increment, not a decrement. So it's plus plus. Save and run it. What has it given us? Okay, we want the odd numbers. Let's see how we're going to do that. We can first remove the shorthand, and then we can do plus 2 here. Plus 2. Let me save that. There. So those are the odd numbers. Odd numbers from 1 to 10. There they are. Okay, what about the even numbers? Now for us to get the even numbers, let me begin by making adjustments there to 0, and then I can leave it as such. Let's first run it and see what we're going to get. Save and run. It's giving us a 0. We don't want that 0, so how do we go about this? Try to change that onto there, and maybe remove that. 7 run. Yeah, there it is. So it's been able to give us the even numbers from 1 to 10, and I think that is as simple as that. Okay, what about the do while structure? How do we deal with the do while structure? Let's create a new class. Let's give it a name. Do while loop, and then we give it a main method. Okay, there it is. You have to remove that. Now, okay, remember the questions we were dealing with? They'll help us demonstrate the, or rather learn the do while structure as we answer these questions. So we can begin with declaring a variable integer x, and we can set it to, we can initialize it to 1. So we begin. So it starts with do while. Then at the end of that, we are supposed to have the while. While what? We are trying to answer the first question that says, write a program that will output values from 1 to 10. Less than or equal to 10. While x is less than or equal to 10. Okay, let's try system.out.println. We can give it some space there. Concatenate with the x. We terminate. Let's remove the ln. We don't want it to go to the next line. We need an increment x plus plus. Terminate. Remember, we say this one is the same as writing x is equals to x plus 1. So you can use either. Okay, let's save and try to run it. There is an error. What's the error here? Sorry, we forgot to terminate with the while. Do while. At the end of the while, you must terminate. Let's save and run it again. There it is. So we've been able to answer the first question. So it's that simple. We begin with do, and then we output, and then we can do an increment, and then we have our while at this far. And remember, this one was the post-test condition. So we first execute the statements and then test the condition at the end. Now, how can we change it to output 10 to 1? You can basically just make that adjustment there and then come to the condition while greater than 0. And of course, this one will be a decrement now, which is the same as x minus x is equals to x minus 1. So let's save and run it there. So that's the code for the second question. Let's move on to the third question. We need to output 10 to what? 10 to 4. Okay, 10 to 4. Make this little adjustment here. Greater than 3 should be able to give us that. Save and run. There it is. Now, the fourth one is we need to be able to output the odd values. Now, how do we output the odd values between 1, or rather, starting from 1 to 10? Now, let's change our initialization since we're working from 1 to 10. And this one, of course, we have to get rid of that. Yeah, like that. And then that's what we work with now. Terminate there, and it ought to be less than or equal to 10. Let's test. Save and run. Okay, it has given us all the values. Oh, sorry, this we need to change this to 2. Save it and run. There, those are the odd values from 1 to 10. Odd values from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10. So it has been able to give us that. So we need to move on to the last question, which requires us to output even numbers from 1 to 10. So how do we go about it? Let's see if we can make some adjustments here. Perhaps we bring this one as before that. Yeah, let's see what it will give us if we put it there. 7 run. Oh, it has not given us what we want, so we need to set that one to 0. It's going beyond 10. We don't want that, and therefore let's remove that one. Okay, let's try it again. There it is. It has been able to work. So we've been able to answer the 5 questions using the do while loop. I think that's it. To arrange our code, remember we press Ctrl Shift and F. Yeah, automatically it's able to, that is, if we're working with Eclipse, yeah, it's able to rearrange the code. That's it for now. Click on the like button, subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye for now.